Yamaha literally gave birth to this genre of entry-level big and burly street nakeds with the FZ16, and since then they've upped their game with 3 generations of the FZ in the 150cc category and also expanded the footsteps into the 250 category with the FZ25. Well, the FZ25 was here in 2017 and now it has been given a major makeover, which means it's only natural we compare it to its arch rival, its compatriot, the Suzuki Gixxer 250. And before you ask, Bajaj couldn't get us the Dominar 250 in time for this test. We also checked with our community, but no one seemed to own one. That says a lot. And the 250cc bikes from the KTM or the Husqvarna range, they reside at a higher price bracket and they are more lifestyle or sport oriented compared to these power commuters from the Japs. Of all these aforementioned models, the Gixxer 250 probably looks the leanest. Its styling seems inspired more by the conservative yesteryear Suzuki Gladius 650 than the sharp and aggressive GSX S750. And while this kind of a body style is getting common across brands, the Gixxer manages to look unique with its rising tail and the 2-pot exhaust canister. It has a handsome stance that is likely to appeal to a wider audience, and the Suzuki MotoGP livery-inspired paint scheme seen here looks the most appealing to me compared to the all-black scheme which I usually adore on most other motorcycles. The Yamaha FZS 25 in comparison looks a lot more radical, almost like a transformer robot if you will, with its squared-off projector, an LED array on top of it and a tall fly screen to complete the look. It has a rounded tank and sharp shrouds that incorporate the 4 air intakes. The treatment looks sporty, but it is also much leaner than the FZ16 and the tank feels slimmer between the legs. So much that I think this bike should have been called the MT25 instead. The green body and the gold wheels look nice and refreshing, but the cuts and the stylized bits of the bodywork come alive in the white color, and that would be my choice. The paint quality and the fit and finish is noticeably better on the Gixxer compared to the Yamaha. I also wish that the Yami came with more color options, and though they are not calling it the MT25, I was really hoping that they could give us more color options and also give us that mix and match option that you have on the MT15 with this motorcycle. I hope they do that in the future. Now, in terms of equipment, both these motorcycles are running LED headlamps and tail lamps, but the blinkers are the analog bulb types, which is a bit unexpected for this price point and this category. In terms of the headlamp performance, however, though the one on the Yamaha looks a lot more sophisticated than the Gixxer, is a Gixxer that has the better throw and the better spread. Both motorcycles incorporate a diamond frame and simple suspension components like telescopic forks and a rear monoshock. They also have a comparable seat height and curb weight. The ergonomics of the Yamaha FZS 25, well, they are a bit awkward. We tried them on riders of different sizes during our test and all of them had the same reaction. This one has a slightly more relaxed posture, and even when you're riding in a sporty manner, this one feels and fits better for most rider sizes that you find in India. Now, in terms of the spec advantage that the FZ has in terms of the seat height or in terms of its weight, it does make the bike a little bit more manageable in the city as compared to the Gixxer. But when you talk about riding them on winding roads, riding them in a sporty manner, or even riding them on the highway, is a Gixxer that has a clear advantage. The tires on the Suzuki Gixxer are of a higher spec, and they not only offer better grip, but the suspension also feels more composed and taut for sport riding. The FZS is sure-footed through the corners too, but it isn't as sharp at turn-ins, and fast direction changes often make the bike feel a bit wallowy. On that note, the Gixxer 250 also manages to carry better speed through the corners if you are riding with a sportier intent. The engine has a meaty spread between the 3000 to 7000 RPM zone and displays a far stronger mid and top-end performance compared to the Yami. If you live in extra-urban conditions, you will notice that you will get up to the 5th gear very quickly on the FZS. And that also makes it quite tractable in the city as compared to the Gixxer. On the highway, it will go past 130 kilometers an hour, but the journey after 110, it's not a very pleasant one. The engine gets very noisy, there are plenty of vibrations kicking in, and that's sort of unexpected for a vehicle that is a 250. In comparison, the Gixxer 250, the engine feels a lot nicer, it feels a lot calmer.
And even at speeds between 120 to 130 kilometers an hour, this one feels a little bit more eager, a little bit more, how do I put it, easy as compared to that. So it feels more pleasant in that sense. And despite this engine being sprightlier, its 4-valve construction actually makes it more fuel efficient than the 2-valve engine in the FZS. Also, we've seen it in the past that the FZ16 or the Gixxer 155, the highway fuel economy was actually lesser than the city economy because the engine ran a lot more stressed. So if you do live in extra urban conditions, or if highway commutes are a big part of your daily commutes as well, then in that case, I would suggest going in with the 250s instead of settling for the 150s, because you will get certainly better fuel economy on the highway compared to the 150s with these two 250s.
The FZS's engine is clearly tuned for better performance in the city, and it shows quite clearly when you take a look at the test figures. Furthermore, its rider geometry is relatively more upright for comfortable commutes. Should you take them touring though, the Gixxer offers more comfortable seating and a riding posture for the rider, but the comfort in the seating geometry for the pillion is far better on the Yamaha FZS. Despite its marginally smaller tank, the Gixxer manages to offer a better range. And though a plethora of good aftermarket luggage options exist, it is good to know that the Gixxer gets its compatible saddlebags as a part of the official accessory catalogue. The Gixxer's accessories also include a set of plastic handguards, which otherwise come standard on the FZS.
They certainly add more protection while cutting through traffic or in case of a slow speed fall, but they can also restrict the airflow to the sleeves in our typically hot riding conditions. Also, because they are body colored, they tend to look blemished far too quickly.
Speaking of protection and safety, both motorcycles come with a dual-channel ABS, and the Yamaha stops shorter than the Gixxer. That is certainly safer, but the brake feel is better on the Gixxer. The 6-speed Suzuki gearbox also feels much smoother under heavy downshifting or engine braking than the notchy 5-speed setup on the FZS.
Features are one department that can leave you wanting for a bit more with these motorcycles. Now you get a basic digital instrumentation on both these bikes, which will give you readouts for the speedometer, the tachometer, the fuel, the trip computer, even a gear selector on the Gixxer, but neither of them get Bluetooth connectivity. And that might make you feel a bit shortchanged about these 250s after knowing that even the FZ16 or the X-Pulse 200 get it.
It is commendable how Yamaha has taken a 2017 FZS and made it nicer and relevant for today's times. On the other hand, I'm also impressed at how the Gixxer 250 has built on all the positives of the 155 and becomes a convincing quarter-litre offering that can take the fight to the more premium end of this segment.
So both the motorcycles have their hits and misses. Now, anyone who's upgrading from a 100 to 125cc motorcycle is definitely going to find the punchy performance of this engine thrilling. At the same time, the performance is such that it's not overwhelming. So even if you are new to this class or new to motorcycling in general, it's not going to overwhelm you. So it's going to be more welcoming in that sense. And most buying decisions, I think, are going to be based on how these motorcycles look. But you won't go wrong choosing either one of them. But we have to pick out a winner, and this time it's going to be the Gixxer 250. And the points table agrees with that verdict.
Do you agree with our verdict though? Which one would you choose and why? Or would you rather upgrade to the more premium 250s? Let's discuss that in the comments below. And while you're at it, please like and share this video and get your buddies to join the conversation too. Thank you for watching.